All right, a good Monday to you. Glad you're joining us here for the Fox 26 weather update. I'm meteorologist John Dawson, and it is an interesting day where we've really started off cloudy, a bit cool, and certainly breezy. And as we move through the day, we're going to sort of transition those clouds out, keep the breeze, and I think overall fairly cooler temperatures is kind of what we're going to be looking at as we kind of dive through things. But again, thanks for jumping in here to have a little discussion about what's going on. We're going to talk about local. We're going to talk about all that rain in California, and we're going to be looking ahead already. It's Monday, and we're already going to be looking ahead to the weekend, mostly because that's when we have some more action happening across Southeast Texas. Kind of have some quiet days ahead. So yesterday, about half of us made it into the 70s. The northern half stayed in the mid to upper 60s. I think majority of us will be in the upper 60s for today for our high temperatures. So a little bit cooler than what we did yesterday. And then this morning was fairly mild with those winds and those clouds. Will be cooler tonight because of the skies will start to clear, and we've got a little bit of that we have a lot of north wind right now, but we had that north wind bringing in that cooler air. So haven't really been able to warm up much so far today from where those morning lows were. If you'll notice, very similar temperatures. We're stuck in the mid 50s for now, and we're really going to be there until we get those clouds broken up a bit and we can get some sunshine. So depending exactly how fast that happens where you are, that'll depend on how warm we're able to kind of get the temperatures to kind of move back up. And you can see it's definitely different than the same time yesterday, 7 to 10 degrees cooler than where we were yesterday. Even Sugar Land, 11 degrees cooler right now than compared to the same time yesterday. And we'll see these winds remain in the 10, well, I'm going to say 15 to 20 mile an hour range for most of us. A little bit less right now up in Huntsville, but it's still, for the most part, going to be that 15 to 20. Even, again, these are sustained winds I'm showing you right now. These are not gusts. A sustained wind of 22 miles an hour happening up in the College Station area. Galveston also getting some winds there at 24 miles an hour. Those north winds really going to be with us for all of the day today. Now, talking about temperatures, these are the expected high temperatures as we move through the week, and you'll notice that they're fairly mild. Some might even say warm when we're jumping up into the 70s, because typically over here you'll see we normally average about 66 degrees for this date, time of the year. So we're not that far off from that today, but then when we start warming up pretty quick here, moving through the week, we're already back into the 70s, and there's going to be some rain to talk about kind of mixed in there as well. 5 days worth of accumulation. If we just put the bucket out in the yard and measured how much rain fell for the next 5 days, this is kind of the numbers that we're looking at. You'll notice pretty light measurements here in the Houston area. We're going to be probably in that less than an inch category, but certainly going to be able to see some rain. And you'll notice now that we break this down each day, it's Thursday when we really start talking about some rain chances. More likely to see it on Friday, and then even higher chances once we get into Saturday. We're going to take a look at that here in just a few minutes. So as far as kind of the bigger picture, or the sort of the bullet points on what we've got happening right now, we've got, again, a breezy and cool day on tap today. Eventually we'll get those skies cleared out, and then we're in a nice pattern here for 2 to 3 days overall. As we've talked, the temperatures may be a little bit milder, and then we get the rain working its way back into the forecast as we get later in the week. So our setup right now here, what's really impacting us the most is this low pressure. We kind of had two different areas over the weekend that sort of kind of came together, and this large area is really creating some more disturbed and stronger storms for the state of Florida. Georgia also had some tornado warnings yesterday. So again, this part of the country certainly seeing a very active pattern. And then we're catching kind of the backside of that, helping to pull in some of that cooler and drier air, but enough moisture still lingering around. That's why we have a lot of those cloud cover. Now, talking about an active pattern, California is where you're going to be seeing the headlines as far as the weather is related across our country for the next couple of days. And it's that atmospheric river, that term you've heard used several times, where it's just a funnel of rain just staying right in the same spot. Southern California, just not accustomed to seeing this amount of rain in a shorter period of time like this, where in 3 days they're just going to be getting months worth of rain, and it's really going to continue to cause some problems. So you can see here on the radar how that's really just over and over, and there's just not a real end of it expected, again, for several days. You can see some of this energy that's really getting sort of pulled up, all of that moisture in the upper levels. So when we talk about this atmospheric river, it's primarily in the upper levels of the atmosphere where it's just really funneling in a lot of energy to help squeeze out that moisture and kind of pull in all of that rain right across the area. We show this excessive rainfall outlook. We show this all the time, especially here in the Houston area, anytime we get those repeated showers, but rarely do we ever show this extreme. We'll usually the possibly or the likely. So this graphic doesn't even really look normal to me, or for us at least here in Houston, just because even we don't see this type of rain that often, where we're at this extreme level where it really is a serious situation there with all of the rain that's happening. So again, a bigger picture showing that this energy that's really getting focused, all of this will eventually start sort of shifting a little bit more over to the east. It's not going to bring that kind of rain, but just that disturbed weather will eventually come over to our part of the country. And again, all that moisture will end up going through the Rockies and adding some more snow in the higher elevations. But remember, we have the East Coast system, we have the West Coast system. We're kind of in between in a quieter, milder pattern. These are pretty nice temperatures for February across the state of Texas. 53 right now in Dallas, 50 over in Lubbock, 68 down in Brownsville, Corpus Christi at about 65 degrees. And again, locally, we're really dealing with those winds and those up into the 20-mile-an-hour range that we're going to be seeing. So certainly going to see some clouds for several more hours. Eventually, we're kind of getting that cleared out a little bit. Our temperatures are going to be stuck in the 50s until we get some of that sunshine, and then we'll be able to move up into the 60s a bit. Let's talk about rainfall for us. I'm going to jump to Thursday on our Futurecast here. This is going to give us a sort of those long-range models, just giving us trends, ideas. We're not looking for specific timing or specific locations at this point, but you could certainly see rain expected across all of Southeast Texas, possibly as early as Thursday. We get into Friday. Notice how we have some more of the darker shades of the green. Those are a little bit heavier rain that it's expected. And then once we get into Saturday, we boost it up into the yellow, showing that even heavier amounts of rain and downpours are worked in. Not necessarily severe weather, but higher amounts of rain and a possibility of seeing some of that isolated stronger storms that are kind of mixed in. In the short-term Futurecast, we've talked about it already. We've got these breezy conditions throughout the day today, slowly clearing. We get the winds calm tonight. We get the skies cleared out. That allows the temperatures to drop cooler than what we've seen. We're back into the 40s. And then tomorrow, with the light winds, all the sunshine, we should be back up right around 70 degrees for that high temperature. So here we'll put it all together here for the 7-day forecast. Really, I think Tuesday is going to be the prime day of the week. Wednesday looking pretty pleasant as well, maybe a few more clouds. So I think if you've got some outdoor activities, you're kind of looking for the best days of the week to do those. Tuesday, Wednesday is what I would put down. Nothing wrong with today. It's just going to be cool, cloudy, and windy. And again, those clouds eventually kind of becoming a little bit less. And then we get into the longer range. We've talked about those rain chances coming at us, those winds or those temperatures, very mild. We're back into the 70s for sure. So we'll keep an eye on California. We'll keep you updated on what's happening out there. Again, that's a very active pattern for those folks. It's nice to be in a quiet position here for us as we start the work week, and then we'll be looking at rain as we get towards the weekend. That'll do it for this weather update right now. You know, in about 20 minutes, however you're watching me right now, get that device, get that smart TV back, or just even your TV itself. We've got a full Fox 26 News at noon coming up in about 20 minutes. I plan to see you then.